What up? Hopefully you guys can hear me. What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Green and Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is an Eagle Eye special where I talk about transfer news and rumours surrounding the Arsenal. I hope you're well. I know I went for a little run of shows and then went away again, so sorry about that. But I'm back now. I had to do a little project that kind of sidelined me for a little while. Only for about a week. I think I've only been away for legit a week of just not doing any type of show or appearance or anything. So hopefully you guys have been well. Do me a favor, stick a like on the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and yeah, let's get through this thing. I'm also using a bit of a new makeshift mic. Sometimes my voice dips in and out, so hopefully you guys will enjoy the experience of the soothing tones of the chick star. All right, let's get into this thing because I know I ain't got long and I've got to prepare for the England game a bit later. All right, first things first, let's talk about a few players that I haven't even added the picture of on. Um, should I talk about him? No, let's talk about. Oh, sorry, hold on. Look at me, so professional out here. We'll bring out my man when he eventually loads. Right. Sorry about this. In that case, while that loads up, let me talk about a few other heads that I should be talking about um, in the meantime before they come up, because that's throwing me right off. Um, okay, I just deleted half of these pictures. Okay, I'll show you what has thrown me completely shortly. But yeah, it's just something Ola's done that I'll speak to him about a bit later. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale, as you know, is the geezer who, unbelievably, we are set to pay 20 million for. Yet that rumor is still hanging around. Um, Supposedly, Arsenal are still interested in, because I know lots of people keep asking me about this geezer, Anana as well. Like, what happened to Anana? Like, why are we suddenly being interested in Ramsdale? Well, the plan apparently is to get both of them. Because as things stand, my man who came last season hasn't signed on. Actually, he's quite interested in playing first team football. And he has a number of clubs that are chasing him at the moment. Um, so because of it, now we are potentially looking at two new goalkeepers. So the plan might be to either do one of the two, bring a new one in, and obviously keep Leonard, which might be the most likely move that we do. With Matt Ryan also shopping himself abroad. Or the other thing that we might do is that we end up, um, replacing them both and getting rid of Leno all in the same year. It'd be interesting to see what move we make. What move would you prefer us to make? Let me know. I'm still not convinced about this Ramsdale. He's still not a guy that I particularly feel comfortable that Arsenal are looking to buy. Um, he's someone who I think um, potentially has a lot of, shall I say, he's got a lot of plaudits because he's obviously obviously an England international. When you're an England international, that does mean a lot. Um, Having said all that, but for me, I wouldn't want us to go and get him. So I'm hoping that we don't. I'm hoping that we change our mind on it. Is this someone that you want us to get? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Right. Let me see what we can do here. Ola. He put so many pictures on as well, bro. Okay. Sorry, guys. In 2 seconds. She'll set up helper. I was expecting most of my pictures to be on there from like me and Ola, right? We sometimes use the same system when we're doing shows. And one of the things I've told him is that if he's deleting pictures, delete the old ones. Don't delete the most recent ones. Because obviously those are the ones that I'm most likely to use. And he seems to have deleted those random ones. So I'm like, bruh, what have we been doing? So if you see Ola in the travels, tell him I asked him what the fuck. Um, okay, let's talk about Sergio Ramos. I was looking for the picture of Sergio Ramos, and I can't seem to find it. So sorry about it. I'm going to try and find it while I'm on talking to you. It's not been the most smoothest of shows, but heck, it never was going to be. Anyway, Sergio Ramos. Now, I'll be honest with you guys when it comes to Sergio Ramos. I've said this before. I would have said this to you 10 years ago. I have never really been the biggest fan of Sergio Ramos. And as a player, I think he is. I'll be honest, I've always thought he's one of the most overrated players in the world. I really do. I'll go ahead and just say it. I do. I've always thought it. This is a guy who I've always thought is, strong, capable, decent athlete, but just racks up cards unnecessarily and has built a reputation seemingly off the back of that. And I've always felt the same way. I'll be honest, I've always felt the same way. Over the years, he's used Manchester United several times to negotiate himself an amazing contract with Real Madrid. Can't knock the man's hustle. Obviously knows what he's doing. Um, and he's someone who I potentially just have not a lot of love for. Right? But as soon as they announced that he was leaving Real Madrid, I knew that he was going to get linked to Arsenal. First of all, Arsenal, we love our foreign old men. We love it. We love being linked to players like this. Players who were formerly great 7, 8 years ago. We love that money ball type of football. That's just the way we operate. We love all that. And then secondly, we may have the actual wages to tempt someone like a Sergio Ramos. What was his last contract? His last contract was what? I feel like, and I don't know why this figure's in my head, either 250 or 230 contract wise. Was his last contract? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if you guys agree. Is this someone that you think you'd be interested in? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Is this someone that maybe perhaps even for a year, someone to bring in for a little bit of experience? I know it's like, what is it, like 34, 35? But to bring in for you've seen the effect that someone like, say, a Thiago Silva's had on Chelsea. Could a Sergio Ramos have a similar effect like Thiago Silva? Now you can hear me laughing, so you already know my personal opinion on this. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Um, this was a story I found quite interesting. I saw it earlier this week, and it seems to have crept back into the stories this later on in the week as well. And that is Mr. Renato Sanchez. Um, he's someone who's done reasonably well at this World Cup. He's someone that kind of goes in spurts because arguably people will say that he earned his move to Real Madrid, to Real Madrid, to Bayern Munich for 31 million off the back of the last World Cup and what he did there. And obviously, since that time, he's not really had the most successful of times or seasons. Not really reproduced the form that we've expected him to produce. Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we go with this one. Um, he is a very good player on his day, but is he someone who I believe that can fit into the team and that can deliver us what we need on a consistent basis? My gut feeling is no. I think we need the one thing I would like to see us do when we build our team is yes, I think we need quality around the pitch, but I think we need to be able to depend on these players to be able to rescue us when we're in trouble. You know, I don't particularly have a lot of faith in the manager. This is well documented by now. Having said that, you know, um, because I don't have a lot of faith in the manager, so trying to get a picture of my man up. Because I don't have a lot of faith in the manager, um, I'd like us to be able to um, rely on at least the quality of the players that are around him. And maybe if we can do almost like a, because I know a lot of Chelsea players, for example, don't really like crediting Di Matteo with his Champions League win. They feel like it was damn near impossible for him to not win the Champions League with the players that he had around him because of the quality that was there. And if we can do something similar with Mikel Arteta, where I don't particularly have a lot of faith with the manager, but the quality of players that are around him is so undeniable that even Mikel Arteta would struggle to not win something significant or do somewhat well with the players that are around him. Now, people will look at that and say, "You're being so harsh." It's surely if Mikel Arteta builds these players that are around him, then his call, it's his team. And listen, he'll get credit because it will be his team. It will be his players that have got him to the pinnacle. There are certain decisions that he makes at the moment in terms of the players that he's even still going for, which I question and I question highly. And I'll come to that shortly. But one of the players that I think I've not spoken about, obviously, over the last week and that has developed over the last week is Manuel Locatelli, who was the Italian midfielder um, that plays for Serie A club Sassuolo. Sassuolo. I stay butchering names, and yeah, he's someone who's obviously an excellent player, very very good. Type of midfielder that ideally Arsenal would love to replace Granit Xhaka with, because he does what Xhaka does, but he's a lot more mobile with it. It's a bit more two-footed with it, and yeah, he's a bit young. Obviously, he's 23 years old. He's someone who's highly coveted at the moment. He's having a really good World Cup, which is a lot of the reason why there's a lot of interest in him at the moment. And when I say there's a lot of interest in him at the moment, I would suggest it's us and Juve leading the race. Um, but they are Spurs are said to be interested in him, as are other people within Europe. Now, I'm always wary of buying a player off the back of one good tournament. Namely, look at Arshavin. Namely, look at David Sukker. If you look at both of those buys that we made, you could argue that those were made off the back of two good tournaments rather than extensively looking at a player for a couple of years. But I do think that this kid might be the exception to the rule and does have something. So it'd be interesting to see where we go with it. What do you guys think? I haven't actually put his picture up, have I? I've left the last picture up, have I? Smooth. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just so you guys can see that I'm not talking about Renatas now. I'm talking about Locatelli. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you guys will know who I'm talking about. There's not really been a development here. There are lots of conflicting rumours. Some say that Arsenal are leading the race purely on the basis that we're the only team that's actually bid. Arsenal bid 40 million euros for him. They're looking for something in the region of more like 40 million pounds. So we're obviously not very far away. So that's why when there was a lot of people talking about Arsenal bidding a very important bid, it was the one time where Arsenal were considered to be the one team that was actually seriously in for him. So we'll see what's up. It should be said though that his personal preference is to go to Juventus. I've said this for a long time. There's a reason that Italian players don't tend to move from Serie A very often. Very, very rare. It used to be a lot more common maybe 10 plus years ago, but definitely within the last 10 years, you don't really see them moving out of that league very often unless they can help it. Juventus stay collecting midfielders. They need to sell a bunch of midfielders in order to be able to clear the way for Locatelli. So that's a lot of the reason why they feel that almost Arsenal are taking advantage of this situation. Um, Having said all that, if we can do that, that's the way we need to be able to start operating and doing business and seizing opportunities because we don't have the money to compete for these guys. All we can now do is just say to ourselves, all right, let's just see some opportunities and see where we can go. We don't have Champions League football, so we don't have that to offer them. We don't have European football. We don't have that to offer them. So we just have to say to ourselves, we don't even have a manager where we can say, oh, you get to play for this amazing manager. So we just have to be able to just hustle and just negotiate where we can and take advantage where we can. But what do you guys think? I think that's the most important thing. Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Now, I even took away the damn Ben White one as well. Okay. I'm about to take my speaker out so I want to finish off these stories real quick. Okay. I think that was pretty much it. I don't really want to kind of get wound up with any other sort of stories. I know that in terms of Ben White, that's apparently still the most likely big time signing we're going to make. Supposedly, it's all done, signed up and done. And I know that there's this big debate at the moment between, letting go of Saliba. Supposedly, Saliba is agreed to go to Marseille, where Guendouzi's going, funny enough. Guendouzi's agreed to go to Marseille and sign with Marseille for 12 million euros. He's signed a 4-year deal, and that's set to be confirmed tomorrow. So good for Guendouzi. And it seems like Saliba is following him through that door. It looks like Saliba will be looking to make his Marseille impact over the course of the next season as he joins on loan. And obviously, this has made people so mad because, you know, why are we going for a defender when we have so many other problem areas in the pitch? And I must admit, I'm one of those people to a certain extent. My thought process has evolved since my anger. But not anger. Anger is not the wrong word, but confusion. I must admit because I what I hate is this notion that Arsenal have no money. It's a notion that has been very well disguised by certain key people at the club, and that's because since I can remember, as an Arsenal fan, we've never done exactly what we need to do at the club. I say this every single time I do transfer rumor videos. There'll always be a point in a transfer rumor video where we should be going after usually centre backs, a striker, and then we end up going for a central midfielder or a creative player. The Mesut Ozil situation is an excellent example of what I'm talking about. Mesut Ozil, we never needed no Mesut Ozil. At the time we got Mesut Ozil. At the time, I think Van Persie had just left. We just got Giroud. I think Giroud was our main senior striker at the time. And we needed someone else, just as a little kind of a reassurance, because we just let a lot of goals go through the door. So we needed someone like that, of that type of ilk, just to be able to make sure that, you know, all those goals have gone out the door. Not to mention, it hadn't been long since, you know, Adebayor had left and he'd scored 30 goals. We needed someone of that type of ilk. We ended up going for Mesut Ozil. Don't get me wrong, I was gassed at the time we got Mesut Ozil. I'll be honest, I was one of those people. I was actually gassed that we got Mesut Ozil at that time. Little did I know what was to come. But I was gassed at that time. But, you know, I look at that situation and I just think to myself, you know, oh, we could have got a striker of what, £35 million striker, especially at that time. At that time, I wanted us, I think, to go and get David Villa. I think that was the person I really wanted us to push for and go and get. And instead, we ended up going to get Mesut Ozil. You know, it's similarly with Nicolas Pepe. I love Nicolas Pepe. You got to know this. I absolutely love Nicolas Pepe. And I think, you know, given the chance, and I will keep specifying, given the chance, he will kick on and he'll be something. 100% for the club. He'll be something. You know? But at the same time, where I get frustrated with Nicolas Pepe, with the situation of Nicolas Pepe is, we did not need no Nicolas Pepe when it came to actually looking at the squad. What we needed, once again, was a centre back of high quality. You know, people will say, "Oh, well, David Luiz didn't do too badly when you look at the stats and this, that, and the other." All right, cool. He was the best out of a shit show. He was the best performer. Fantastic. I'm sick of looking at things like that. I'm sick of people that come to me and say to me, Arsenal were not bad when you actually consider the fact that when you take the date of December 26th, who asked you to take the date of December 26th? I never did. So why are you bringing this to my attention? Who asked you to bring to me December 26th? No one asked you to do that. Oh, well, you know, when you look at the fact that I'm giving you an off pizza, well, you see that pepperoni was cooked well. Who the fuck cares? The beats is off. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way we spit shine the things that we want to see versus the shit that we don't want to see is incredible, you know? And you know, when I look at the fact and I look at this Ben White guy, right? And I've said for a long time, I think Ben White is decent. I'm not going to sit here and try and gash you that I've been spitting bars this whole time that Ben White is an amazing defender and that we should get him. I've never said that. I'll be real with you. And Chig knows defenders, right? I've never ever said to you that I think that Ben White is going to be this amazing defender or anything like that because it would be wrong to suggest such a thing. So truth is, I don't know. We hope so. I hope so. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know. We all hope that he'll kick on and he'll go out, he'll go on and he'll be something and he'll achieve something and he will, obviously if he joins Arsenal, that is, and that he displays the potential that we all hope that he'll display. And if he does that, then I ain't got no issue with him. You know, the guy looks the part. Tall, young, English, combative. Do I think he's better than the defenders that we have at the club at the moment? Yes, I do. I do. I think he's better than all the defenders that we have at the club at the moment. I think he is obviously young. He fills a homegrown quota that I think Arsenal are secretly aiming for with this Aaron Ramsdale nonsense. I think he ticks a lot of boxes when I really think about it, you know. And if he goes on and shows the potential that, you know, actually he is really that guy, what do I have to complain about? Actually, you know, you can make an argument that it takes a top team to spend a real solid amount of money on a centre back and build that team around him in order to kick on and be something. You know, when you look at the centre backs around the top teams that have done that, you know, United have done that with Harry Maguire. Now you might laugh and say, "Oh, it's Harry Maguire," but listen, I know a lot of United fans that still rate Harry Maguire very highly. You know, I personally would have spent 80 million on the kid, but then I wouldn't also spend 50 million on Ben White. So who knows? Maybe it might prove to be a decent investment. You know, City. It seems like every season they spend 50 million on someone. You know, I think when you look at their the way they won the league this year. Look at how much they spent on my man. What's his name? Diaz. Yeah, Liverpool with their own centre back is well documented, and how much, you know, they suffered without him this year. So I think it might be worth Arsenal making that kind of expenditure on a centre back and building a team around that centre back and seeing what happens. The only person that hasn't actually really done that so far, and maybe they are a different type of example, is Chelsea. Really, Chelsea have centre backs and that, and they do invest in them, but not like heavily. But I don't know. It's a shame because I don't think anybody is worried necessarily about Ben White. It's more about how that then goes on affects Saliba. Me personally, even if you said to me, even if this was a board decision, the board are the ones that are insisting on this Ben White guy, I would say, all right, cool. I want Ben White. I want Saliba. I want Mari. I want Gabriel, I've forgotten his name, blanked out on it for a second, as my 4 centre backs. Sell the rest. Sell the rest. Because I'm not going to have competition for them anyway, so sell the rest. Don't even fuck around. Those would be my 4. Saliba, White, Gabriel, Mari. No, forget Holding. And then what you're then saying is, all right, Chambers is your right back cover. Sell the rest. Bomber club. But you just know we've not. This is the problem with Mikel Arteta, and this is why I don't want to hear people telling me that, oh, how do you know that he can't sort out youngster issues? There is nothing, right? I don't care what you tell me, right? If Salah ends up going out the door, that tells you all you need to know about how well Mikel Arteta can sort out youngster issues or issues to do with youngsters. Because, rather than, welcoming people like Guendouzi back with open arms and Saliba back with open arms, at the first moment he decided to get rid of them both. That to me tells me someone that is incapable of dealing with people issues. He's incapable of dealing with or man managing issues. And that to me is a huge concern. Yes, you don't have experience at doing such a thing, but fuck me. You have all these outlets and resources to be able to learn it, to be able to get someone in to negotiate, to be able to get mediators in, whatever it takes. And if at the first port of call, your whole ethos is, nah, I'd rather not sort that out because I'm too scared of dealing with it with a feisty 18-year-old or a feisty 19-year-old. So I'd rather ship him out the door. That tells me all I need to know about you as a manager. So I think from my own perspective, just another reason why I don't understand why we're still persisting with Mikel Arteta. I don't get it. But let's just get the season started, get these 10 games over and done with, and let's see where Mikel Arteta ends. And hopefully it's with a P45. I don't like to wish bad, man. I don't like to wish bad thing on people. But I think for the good of my football club and the fact that he has money, I don't feel too bad about it. So it is what it is. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. I plan to do a couple of reviews today on Chig Flicks, one of which is the episode 3 and 4 on Loki. And I've just watched this this film on Amazon Prime to do with the Tomorrow War. So I'll review that. Thought that was interesting, so I'll do that. And yeah, I may be back later. Actually, who we kidding? I'm back afternoon, but I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully some more Arsenal stories would have developed by then. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. Hope you subscribe if you haven't already. I'll stick my camera on tomorrow as well. So, all right, I'll leave you to it for now. Take care, guys. Enjoy your weekend. And my prediction for England, I'm going to say 2-1 England, but I feel like England will go out next round. Because I just feel like England always do this thing where at some point the path to success opens up and gets easier, and that's when they get their pants pulled down. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-1, but I think next round they might go out. So yeah, but 2-1 England. All right, And I leave you to it, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.